Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year. Welcome to this week's pronunciation practice session, where I'm presenting a sentence and I will go through it with you, basically pointing out everything you need to pay attention to focus on the pronunciation. So, I would like you to try it first by yourself, record it so that you have a recording first, and then after we're done, you can record again and compare and see how that goes. And I'll lead you through sort of every detail that you need to pay attention to, and at the end, we'll practice it a few times, and hopefully that will help. So go ahead and record that, please. All right, that's enough. It's a short sentence. So this, I've been using nice quotes from people, inspiring quotes, things that, who knows, might help us a little bit. I need the help. Maybe you do too. So today, this is Winston Churchill, who you probably know was the Prime Minister of England, the United Kingdom, during World War II. And in many ways, they talk about his courage, even when things looked really, really bad. He would give these radio speeches and he just managed to inspire everybody to keep going. We're not going to give up. Ah, so very, very helpful to the whole effort to get through the war and finally be victorious. Very, very crucial person. So he was also a good drinker, cigar smokes, and a real wit, meaning he would just come up with all these wonderful sayings and, sarcastic and insults and all kinds of great things. Anyways, this is very relevant. So the sentence is, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. So let's look at the uh, markings for this. Okay. So I always said there are four elements. Remember, that's my whole sort of method is based around four elements to pronunciation: vowels, open sounds, consonants, closed sounds, rhythm, and connection. Those are the four elements. So I like to start with rhythm. It's kind of going from the macro to the micro, because even if your vowels and consonants are not perfect, if your rhythm and flow are not good, people have trouble understanding and it doesn't feel comfortable. We don't listen word by word. We kind of listen in phrases. Words go together. One word alone doesn't often communicate the meaning that you want. So, but it's the connection of words together in a phrase that has meaning. And part of when we talk about, of course, rhythm, rhythm is very crucial in English because we have this strong contrast between stressed syllables and unstressed syllables. It's essential, no matter how good your vowels and consonants are, it's essential to get your rhythm correct or people will not understand you. Then the words go together into phrases. Phrases are groups of words that go together to make some kind of meaning. We don't go just all the way through da 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 da. We use our intonation, the music of language. In this case, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. So you can hear clearly da 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 da. This kind of a shape. Those words go together. There's a little space between. Failure is not fatal. So it's kind of we grab that whole phrase, get the meaning, the next phrase, and they build together with the third phrase to make the sort of to communicate the meaning of the entire quote. So starting with rhythm. The rhythm are the purple marks, the stressed syllables. And what I like to do is tap them with your finger to really emphasize. You may know that it's stressed, but tapping really helps your body to understand it and to really make sure that it's accurate instead of thinking you're saying it, but not really. So the first phrase starts with unstressed. We're tapping the stress ones, right? With our finger. We're coming down on the stress one. Success is not final. And go ahead and repeat that. Success is not final. And there's kind of an even, I call it the rhythm frame, a fairly even pace. Success is not final. Da, da, da. Failure is not fatal. Failure is not fatal. So you can hear there's after that failure, there's two little ones, but still the rhythm of the stress ones are pretty even. Da, da, da. Failure is not fatal. So the unstressed ones, they go quicker. They go quicker so that we can keep a kind of even rhythm with the stressed syllables, like I just did now. Success, starting up, right? Success, success. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. And then the last phrase, it is the courage to continue that counts. It is the courage to continue that counts. Now, often it would be unstressed, and I might go, it is the courage. But I wanted to just, because it's a very clear phrase, you have a semicolon before, I decided to make it something that you could hit to just give you more of a frame, because it might be hard. Da 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 da. So it is the courage. It is the courage to continue that counts. It, tin, counts. There's still an even rhythm. It's not like a robot or a metronome. Dot 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 dot. But the point is, if you have these points to hit, it's something to keep you moving and momentum so you don't get stuck or stop by some word or sound that's hard to pronounce. So the whole thing, and listen to the melody, how clear that is in the three phrases. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Try. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. So you can clearly hear you've got this underlying kind of rhythm of the stressed syllables, and the unstressed ones are in between going faster. Da, 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 but it gives a framework. This is the framework, the rhythm frame that holds the whole thing together. One more time. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Each uh, phrase makes its own rhythm frame. Depending on the language in there, each one, success is not final. It's a little, if you measured it, it is the courage to continue. There's more little ones in there, but each phrase has its own internal logic based on the words that are there. So they're not all the same because you are really kind of pausing in between. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. But in the phrasing, there's an even feeling as it goes by. Okay, so that's the basic idea of the rhythm and phrasing. Now I want to look at all the details of the technique that you need to focus on, starting from the beginning. Success. Okay, so that's two syllables, right? Little one, big one, success. So the little one is called a schwa, which is an unstressed, undefined vowel sound. It's a little space. The reason it's undefined is because it's so quick. Success. There's no time to make a shape like O, ow, U, E, A. Success, right? It's about as small as you can make it between the S and the K. Success. Success. Okay, you have the S, tip of the tongue down here. It's a fricative consonant, pushing unvoiced, pushing breath through the teeth. If your tongue is too high, you can't get it through smoothly. If it's too open, you're not going to get the sound of the friction. Success. Uh, you can see the spelling SUCC, but the letter C we do not use in IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet, because the letter C has two sounds. In fact, that's why, if you're not familiar, we use the uh, phonetic alphabet, which is a series of symbols that show every sound, every sound in English. And there are more sounds than there are in the alphabet. There are 26 letters in the alphabet and many more sounds. So if you're only reading the alphabet, how do you know what the pronunciation is? You don't. And so using IPA allows us to know what that is. And so in the case of the letter C, there are two pronunciations. C can be, which in IPA is written S, you can see down here, and C can also be K, like care. I care about you. Come, cave, column, right? Two different sounds, both spelled by C. If you look here at the IPA, you can see success. The first C is K, which we think of, which, is written as K in IPA because that's the only sound for K. And then the second C is S. Those are two separate unique sounds. So we don't use the letter C in IPA because you don't know what it is. So success. Then you have you got to open nice and big for that. Right up here. And then you have S again. Success. Success. Make sure you got that K, suck, followed by the S, the vowel, and S. Success. Success is. We have another S there, but this time S in the case of is pronounced with a Z, right? So S has two pronunciations. It can be, which is used S in IPA, or it can be Z, is. So success is. The blue line underneath is my encouraging you to connect it. Not success is, don't break your voice, success is. Success is. Then we have not. Nice big open central vowel. Ah. Again, we need that because in different languages, the letter O can be pronounced different ways. Ah, ah, a lot of different pronunciations for that letter. So in this word, in this case, the sound is ah, not. So here it is in the middle, right? Open middle vowel. Ah. Success is not final. Not final. That's we are doing. You see the red line there is a T stop. What that means is when you have T at the end of a syllable, followed by after a vowel, at the end of a syllable, followed by another consonant, we do what's called a T stop. We don't release it. The normal T when you learn is T. So you might think not, but we don't release it. We do a stop, and that's how we know T. So it's not final. Not final. It's like you have the full energy of T going, not final. We don't go not because if I release the T, not to final, that makes another space, which sounds like a syllable. So the rhythm is not right anymore. Not final. So We got a nice F, top teeth, bottom lip, another friction. Final. Don't push your lip back too far and not too far forward. Find a right spot where you can, not too hard. If you bite too hard, you're not going to be able to smooth that. It itches, tickles when I do that. Final, right? You got to be able to breathe through it and release it. Then we have the N, final, na 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 na, tip of the tongue or blade of the tongue to be more accurate. This is the tip of the tongue. This is the blade of the tongue. When we make a N, if I say tip of the tongue, you'd be thinking going straight up, and that's too much curling. We're actually touching the blade of the tongue. So it's like that. The tongue needs to be able to move clearly and easily up and down like that. So we're not all the way up like that. So it's not the tip, it's the blade. Na 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 na. Hard N. Touching is one thing, releasing is the same thing. Na, na. You can't just go and you have to release with as much energy and clarity as you touch. Na 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 na. Fina, right? So you do the and, but then you release for the next vowel, which is a schwa again. Here we have I. Now, of course, there's just an I in the word, but it's I, the vowel. It's a diphthong, I, final. And then a very small schwa, and then the L, final, L, L. So same thing, touching with the blade up here, but the middle of the tongue when you do L is dropped. L, there's space. With L, you can hear the sound when I'm touching. With T, you can't. N is a nasal consonant, so you're hearing the breath and the sound coming through the nose. L, the middle of the tongue is dropped, so the voice and the breath is coming out the sides of your tongue in your mouth, even though you can't see it. L, final, final. So you got to really be aware of moving your tongue. Final, final. Success is not final. Don't forget the T stop. Success is not final. Next one. Failure is not fatal. So we have the F again. Then we have A, which is also a diphthong. Failure, failure. That's kind of tricky from the A, failure. There's a little wave in there. I'll talk about that another time because when you do A, you can't make, when your tongue is all the way up for E or A, you can't make L because as I was just saying, with L, the middle of the tongue is low. L. So you go fail. This has to drop to make that L. Failure. Then you have, if you look at the IPA, you have a Y. Failure. If there was no Y, it would be failure. Failure, right? That would just be the L, schwa, and R, failure. But it's failure, your. So you have a Y, which is comes from the same position as E. Your tongue is back up high. Yeah, yeah, your. Failure, failure. Failure is not fatal. So here, the blue line again is telling you don't break. Word begins with a vowel, is. So some of you might break failure is. Don't break your voice. We're trying to put it together in that flow. Failure is not, same not again, ah, nice open in the center, not, not, stay relaxed, open up, not, T stop, not, another F again, not fatal. The red line is the T stop. Fatal. Failure is not fatal. A again, T, schwa, L. Now, the T there could be a T tap, which is when you have, maybe I should have done that. You have a strong vowel, T, and then an unstressed vowel. Fatal. But it's a little different because T is followed by L. I could have written that, done it, fatal, fatal, fatal. Another way to write that would be dropping the schwa. There's a very few instances in English where you don't really hear the vowel in between. You go from the T right to the L. Fatal, like little. So I won't say it's a mistake, but it's fatal. There, you probably can't even hear the difference. Fatal, 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 fatal. Okay. So we'll go on, but I could have written that just with the fate and then the L with no schwa in there, which is a whole kind of technique to learn to do that and applies for words like little. Notice I'm not going little or bottle. I go bottle, fatal, little. So they're connected. But that's a tricky technique. And happy to work on that with you again, as I have before. Fatal. Failure is not fatal. Then we have the next phrase. It is. So here, now again, the I, for some of you, the letter I is pronounced as E in your romanization of your language, E. But it's actually in English, the letter I, 99.9999999% of the time, the letter E, the letter I actually is this one up here. Number two is I. It's not E. E is another one up here. Number one, it's very confusing because this looks like the letter I. This is IPA, phonetic alphabet. It looks like the letter I, but it's pronounced E as IPA. But the letter, it's really, I can even get confused talking about it. The letter I in English is usually pronounced this one, number two, which is I. So we have these two. We have E and I, as in peak, pick, leave, live. You can hear the difference, right? Leave, live. And of course, it's a difference because of physically, I'm pronouncing it differently. And you can see from the chart there, E, the tongue is pushed all the way up, high, E. There's still vowels, so breath and voice are flowing over, but E, the vowel is up high, I, the middle of the tongue is dropping more to make space. Leave, live, peak, pick, meet, mit. So very confusing because you read the English and it has the I, which makes you think E, but it's really I. So all I can do is cry and try to teach you the right thing. So it is not eat ease. It is. It is. The red line underneath the T is what I use for T tap. It is not it tis. It tis. It is. When you're speaking fast, again, stress syllable or doesn't have to be stressed and followed by another one. But with the case of T, we had the T stop, not final, and the T tap. Those are the two T's, one where it's followed by a consonant, the other where it's followed by a vowel, unstressed vowel usually. It is. It is. So if you can hear that, I'm very light. It is. It is. It's just kind of touching, brushing, and not it is. It is. It is the, and you have TH, the. This is voiced. TH, again, is another fricative consonant, which can be the, you know, voiced or unvoiced. The word think. So the tongue is up here and you're breathing through it either with voice or not. You have enough closeness, not blocking it, but enough closeness so that when you breathe through, you get a sound, you get friction. Think, unvoiced, right? 30, theory. But in this case, it's the. So basically same technique, but it's voiced in this case. It is the, it is the. That's pretty tricky. You've got it is, very light for the it is. Tongue has to come down for the z, and then it brushes up a little bit as the breath comes through to be in position to make the th. It is the one. It is the right one. It is the, it is the best day for swimming. It is. It is the. Okay? voice, TH. And again, here's the little sign for the TH, voice TH. It is the courage, cur. It's OU, and of course, OU could be pronounced ow, for instance, count, right? COUNT would be count, or it could be court, but usually ow, right? Count, cloud. But this is courage. This one up here is the IPA for that. I always say IPA because, uh, it's too long to say the whole other thing. um, courage, courage. And then you have two syllables, dada, courage. J is a sound some languages don't have. It's a voice. It's actually D, D, and J together. J become J, which could be pronounced as a J. My name, Josh. If I was writing that, I would be using that symbol, Josh. Courage. And of course, that's why we use it again, because you see the letter G. The letter G has two pronunciations as well. G can be G, right? Guy, game, which is G, which is a different sound from J. So again, we cannot use G in IPA. We have to use the IPA symbols. G, J. So G is used for G in IPA, and this symbol here, J, is used for that sound. Okay, courage to the word to. If you just look at that alone and read it, what's that word? You'd say to, and that would be correct. But when it's in a sentence, usually it's unstressed, between stressed ones, or not in this case, and it has to be fast and quick. If you say to, it takes too long to say it. So to becomes the schwa, just becomes t, t. Very short and very quick. Courage to continue. You hear how small that is? There's no shape to it. I like to dance. I want to see you tomorrow. Come to dinner. Come to dinner. Come to dinner. T. Very small. You have no time to go to. Come to dinner. You would lose the natural rhythm and flow. So courage to continue. There you see we have C again, which is pronounced as K, right, in the IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. Can. You have schwa again, so it's really small. Continue. 3 syllables in that word. Da-da-da. Continue. I like to use da-da-da for working out rhythm because it's very clear and it applies to all the words, however hard the vowels and consonants are. If you use da-da-da and tap, try this one with me. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Starting with a little one, hitting for the middle one, and then the little one again. So 3 syllables. Da-da-da, right? Da-da-da. Continue. Continue. Okay? Continue. You have the con followed by the T, followed by that hard N again, and the U, continue, right? Like we had before in failure. Continue. Continue that. We have the voice TH again in the word that. But of course, it's unstressed again, so we can't say courage to continue that counts. Continue that, it's very small, like the. The vowel is small. Then we have a T stop. Continue that counts. It is the courage to continue that you hear how small that is? Really tiny. It is the courage to continue that counts. K again for the C this time. And we have that nice big vowel, ow. So if it's a stressed syllable, you got to pronounce the vowel really nice and big. Ow, ow. That's the one up here. Continue that counts. You go into an N, count, and then you have a T, and then you have an S, all together in what's called a consonant cluster. cluster. Things cluster together when they're together. So they're called officially a consonant cluster. N, T, and S. Counts. Counts. It is the courage to continue that counts. So I hope that was helpful, me going through all the things you need to pay attention to. I will say it a few times. You can repeat after me. And then if you want to learn all this stuff in detail, come join my membership. There's over 100 videos with detailed, very detailed videos of all of the techniques, everything you need. And of course, I have a live section like this every week, a live session. And after this is over, then the people who are here in the membership, I'm going to correct them and work with them personally. So if you would like that kind of attention, come join. In the YouTube notes, there's links to check it all out. Lots to check out for free. So repeat after me. And if you want to tap, if you can do that too, that would be great. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. One more time, starting up, right? Success, we're coming down. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. All right. So thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful, is helpful for you. And I'll probably do this again next week and send you another copy. So thanks a lot. Feel free to get in touch with me through my website. I'm always happy to hear from anybody and I will answer your email. Take care and good luck with your pronunciation.